Hello and welcome everybody to Aurora All-Stars 2954. We are here for 3 races at the beautiful smoggy skies of Lorville. We're going to be sending folks first through Lorville Outskirts. We have 7 racers today. We're going to be taking the top 5 racers, and we're going to be sending those top 5 racers to a round 2 at the brand new Teasa Tower spaceport designed by Sabre of Black Star Racing. And then we're going to take those top 3 racers and go to a brand new track called Lorville Loading Site, designed by one of the fastest racers out there, Boltok. We have our racers here on the grid, and we are about ready to get started with this first race. Yeah, excited for this one. Yeah, I think we are going to be getting ready to start in probably a couple minutes here. Yeah, how is everybody doing today? All right, race direction said. It is 2 minutes until we start racing. Let's get going here into the cockpit. So we've got our race timer tool up on the left. We'll be able to see all of our racers. They previously spent some time qualifying in Arena Commander. So this is we've got the fastest times of these racers, setting them up in a grid. So we've got Liquid Prime in the pole position, followed by Dude 3D, Colbosa, Emu Lockwood, Neojet, Envisera, and Ricky Tiki at the back. Neojet having taken a podium position in both the 2953 and the 2952 Aurora All-Stars, so back for 3 years running. And we'll see if Neojet can get a podium in this 3rd year. And we've got a Kalostar set up with our first turn camera, so we can see the cinematic results as the racers come through. We've got our overhead camera as well for race timing, on our cinematic camera here as well. So we are ready to go. And if you're familiar with Lorville Outskirts, it's one that you can race in Arena Commander yourself. And they are off. The race has started. Coming through here, going through the first turn, coming up to the drop. Flying through there. Up to the drop, looks like we've got Liquid in front, Dude 3D just behind. Probably Colbosa and Neojet. See if we can get in a little closer here. And they're coming up to the back straight of the track. They're going through under pressure. Looks like Dude 3D potentially getting close enough to pass Liquid Prime. See if maybe he can take care of that on the straights. It's like they are neck and neck here. Possibly Dude 3D getting a little bit ahead. Oh, it looks like we had a DNF out of Ricky Tiki. Won't see any of that straight. You have Dude 3D with a clear pass there. Liquid Prime taking that a little tighter, but it looks like Dude 3D is still just about ahead. We are going for 5 laps here, so they definitely have some time to make it up. Emu Lockwood keeping pace, and a close 3rd place there, followed by Colbosa. Yeah, very clearly ahead with Dude 3D there. Into the final turn, completing lap 1. Dude 3D with the fastest lap. Minute 35. With less than a second to go to Liquid Prime there. And only a 1.5 seconds to Emu Lockwood. You can watch them here coming through the drop. Going through there up to the back straight, through the Skyway. Do 3D there. Increase the gap a little bit to Liquid and Emu Lockwood. They are still pretty close together. Something I love about racing these Auroras, you can really push them to the limit. They have great grip. They feel really great to race fast, and these racers are definitely pushing these little jalopies all the way to the very limit. All right, let's see. Liquid Prime still just behind Dude 3 Dude there. Emu looks like Emu's caught up a little bit to Liquid. It's Colbosa in fourth. We watch Dude 3D moving on to lap 3. We are over halfway done with this round 1. Looks like we had a DNF with Envisera coming through here. Watching our Auroras go through and over into the drop. Oh, looks like we maybe had a potential incident there. Looks like Neojet and Colbosa collided. I think they are both still running. A little bit of contact, a little bit of paint swapping. Checking back in with our leaders. Oh, you're seeing Dude 3D with a pretty substantial lead across the Skyway there. Followed by Liquid and Emu. Pretty good spacing here with these 3 leaders. Coming into these next turns. And coming on to the final straight of lap 3. Looks like Emu has caught up. A little bit of a gap to Liquid. Let's see if let's see his Dude crosses. Dude onto lap 4. Then Liquid. Back out a little bit. Looks like Liquid has increased the gap to Emu, so Liquid looks like potentially a close second. Remember, we're just looking for the top 5 racers here to make it onto round 2. So just looking for survival. It looks like Neojet potentially limping, trying to get that 5th place position. And so the racers today are competing. The 3 winners of round 3, they're going for a C1 Spirit, Crusader Intrepid, and a Tumbrel RC. So all the prizes for this race are via Crusader Industries or Tumbrel. All right, Dude 3D making it through on lap 4. Coming through the final gates. This Lorville Outskirts is a bit of a warm-up because we are jumping into Teasa Towers next. And Teasa Towers is a long, fairly punishing track with an over 3-minute lap time. So it takes you all the way through the city of Lorville. Lovely track. Has a great flow. Definitely takes a little bit of work to learn. So props to these racers for learning Teasa Towers. Dude 3D on to lap 5. Definitely with an increased gap to Liquid. Followed by Emu. Colbosa, 4th position. Looking for Neojet here. It's like Neojet still working on that lap 4. On the 5th lap here. Dude 3D coming through. Heading over into that Skyway. Last long straight here on this track. We follow Dude 3D across. Just racing it like a time trial. It's really smooth flying here out of Dude 3D. Looks like Dude 3D potentially lapping Neojet right here. Possibly getting ahead of Neojet on the way to finishing out that last lap 5. Yep, Dude 3D with the clean pass of Neojet. And there it is across the line. Dude 3D finishing. Neojet across the line starting that lap 5. Liquid Prime across. Looks like we had a DNF out of Emu Lockwood. And Kobosa crossing the line. And Neojet still running. Potentially trying to get that 4th place spot. But yeah, great racing, everybody. Remember, one of the things I like about the Aurora is it is definitely a little less intimidating to try and get out here and race. You're a little slower, you can race closer with other folks. You are more worried about your racecraft and racing fast than you are about just trying to survive these laps. So yeah, congrats to all the racers out here. Looks like we're going to have our 5 racers to make it on to round 2 at Teasa Towers. Once we're done with this lap, I will throw on a fly-through of Teasa Towers. You can see the track from a first-person perspective while the racers get set up and gridded up to head into that race. And any racers that don't make it to round 2 or round 3 are going to race together in an amateur final, and they are going to be racing for a Pulse LX, and they will also be racing on the Lorville loading site. Yeah, it looks like Neojet with some damage. I think I see some missing wings on there. So Neojet actually, instead of rolling and banking into the turns, is actually just sort of flat drifting into the turns, probably to compensate for some messed up aerodynamics from some missing parts from that earlier collision. Our tanky little Aurora, definitely survivable, even if you got missing parts, torque imbalances. This is a tough little ship. Flies great. So congrats to Neojet for finishing out this 5th lap here. Doing a bit of a barrel roll on the way to the start line. Congratulations, Neojet. And that is a finish. Nice work, everybody. So it looks like Neojet taking that 4th spot, and Emu Lockwood in 5th. Great racing. Let's see, checking out our overhead view here from our race direction. It looks like we are going to get ready for Teasa Towers. So let's check out a fly-through. So coming down here from the clouds. Alright, coming down from the down into the spaceport. The start line is actually that giant Teasa spaceport. It is the giant Teasa spaceport sign. That is your start line. You're going to fly directly in front of New Deal, straight across there. Heading through some of these giant cranes and then into these beautiful city tunnels. Doing this lovely chicane here, which is about as brutal as you can get. Then we are going basically up and over. We call this one Up Dog. Up and over through, this is the wing wiper. Through another set of tunnels here. We're going through a canyon between these 2 buildings and going below some bridges. It's definitely a long track. All right. Run through the cheese, I think, and then the super second spin. We're basically making a 360-degree pass around that tower with the ring there. Through the crab claws. Back around the spaceport. And then we're going to go around some control towers, flying over the previous route from earlier in the race, up and over these cranes, and then we are on the final stretch. This track is brutal for round 2. It's a long one, requires some memory. There's some very tight corners, some tight chicanes. We're really just trying to get these racers to survive 2 laps. And we are going to go get repositioned, and the racers are going to grid up for that round 2. And also welcome everybody, this being our first exhibition race we've done in 4.0, of course, and our last XGR exhibition race of 29:54. It's a fun one. I know some racers have been practicing throughout December for this one. So definitely appreciate the effort everybody's put into to, learn and practice these tracks and get us ready for that final round 3 on a tight little course called Lorville Loading Site. Alright, looks like most of our racers are getting in position here. Getting ready for our 2 laps. You can see Kayla Star here's got a view of one of those. The view into some of these tunnels. So Kayla here, we've got another one of these turn 1 shots so we can see the racers come into here. As well, there's our overhead from race direction, getting the racers all gridded up. And we have an onboard here with liquid prime, so we can see a cockpit view. Looking forward to this one. This is going to be a fun one. Alright, Kayla Star asked for a track Lorville Hellgate. I would absolutely love a track called Lorville Hellgate. So if you're out there, you want to design some tracks, there's some beautiful terrain over in Lorville, and I want to say the performance in 4.0 is significantly better. So get out there, design us a Lorville Hellgate. I'm looking forward to it. The thing I love about Lorville is there's definitely traffic at the spaceport. Waiting for a signal from race direction that we are getting ready, getting gridded up. Okay. Kayla let me know that Lagos Near made a track called Lorville Hellgate. Hasn't been released, so Lagos, if you're out there, I want to race that Lorville Hellgate. 3D. Just 1 second here, let me fix up this overlay. Looks like we got a little doubling going on. Alright, and that is fixed up. Let's get us a racer count. We've got 5 racers out here. Looks like we were just looking for that 4th grid position of Neojet, who I think perhaps needed some repairs there. Also, shout out to our camera crew, Boltok and Kalistar, giving us these gorgeous shots. You can see Boltok here has got a great view, basically coming out of Updog. Then racers will be going to Wing Wiper on the right, and then over into the tunnel on the left. So yeah, definitely a great track. It is essentially a city tour of Lorville. Looks like I'm seeing Neojet in grid position. I think we're probably getting pretty close. Just to give this a fly through, these racers are going to be going over the spaceport, dodging any traffic that might be there, through these first large set of cranes, and then into this tunnel coming up. It looks like I'm seeing Kalistar. That will be the... Alright, Kalistar is positioned on a tunnel towards the end of the track, so that'll be after the second super spin. Alright, looks like we have a 60 seconds until race start. Let's see, a little bit of cockpit perspective from Liquid Prime here on the grid as we get ready to start. Good luck to the racers. Let's get racing. 30 seconds to race start. Let's go round 2. Going for the top 3 racers, trying to make it to round 3. If we don't get 3 racers to finish, we will be running this again with the remainder to try to get those top 3 racers for the final round. And they are off. Past No Deal, over the spaceport, dodging metro loops and traffic. Looks like we have all 5 racers clean through turn 1. Potentially a miracle as we come through here into that first tunnel. It's like making the chicane there. Seeing that clean from all 5 racers, I think. Kobosa and Dude 3D. Quickly through there. Under the bridge, into the next tunnel. Beautiful views from Boltok here. Looks like we have Kobosa in the lead with Dude 3D behind. Everybody's surviving so far. This is great to see. Followed by Emu. Looks like we might have had a DNF out of Dude 3D there. Potentially didn't make it into that second tunnel. And I think we might have had a DNF out of Neojet here. Alright, through Wing Wiper. Going through this loop up and around. These racers have got a... Nice to go up and through that loop. See Liquid Prime going through. See these racers coming through the tunnel here. Bossa and Emu Lockwood. Following them, exiting that next tunnel. We're basically coming up for a giant 360 here. Bulbosa's still in the lead. Through the Seihin super spin. See views from Kale Star here. Coming through that tunnel. Beautiful. Looks like we got Emu Lockwood coming in. Also beautiful. And then I believe we have Liquid coming through. And Liquid exiting. Coming through the Crab Claws. And coming on to the around the New Deal, and we are going to be doing roughly the final straight here. We've got Kolbosa finishing out the very clear lead, finishing out lap 1 here. And starting lap 2. The 2:51. That's quite the lap time. Got Liquid and Emu finishing out this second lap, or finishing out this first lap. And Kolbosa with a massive lead on the second lap. Emu and Liquid close to each other. They're going to need to make it through that first chicane. Meanwhile, we've got Kolbosa successfully making it through the chicane here. Beautiful views from Boltok. Diving under the Metro Bridge. And coming back up. Meanwhile, Emu and Liquid both entering the chicane. Successfully making it to the other side. Crossing under the bridge as Kolbosa makes it through Updog, up around, and onto Wing Wipers. Looks like we've got Liquid and Emu fighting for that second place. And Kolbosa doing the beautiful loop. Basically gotta go through the bottom, up through the top, loop back around there, and then enter the next set of tunnels. Okay, Boltok watching here. We've got Emu and Liquid, again, going through Wing Wiper. And coming around, entering that first tunnel. And then through this next chute we have here, dodging the restricted areas. Looks like Liquid has opened the gap up to Emu a little bit. As we can see here, Kolbosa entering the tunnel. Beautiful flyby there. And Liquid and Emu finishing the cheese and going into the Seihin super spin. And passing through there. So we've got Neojet might be on the monorail, but we've got Kolbosa then finishing out this lap 2. And Kolbosa taking it for round 2 with the victory with the 2:49 fastest lap. Beautiful. Checking back in. We got Emu and Liquid passing these control towers for the final turns of round 2. Liquid making it across. And Emu Lockwood making it across for that third place finish. Good job, everybody. These 3 racers are making it to round 3 at the next track, which is going to be the Lorville loading site. So congratulations, everybody. And we will get that rolling. All right, so we're going to be running of our 7 racers, the 4 racers that didn't make it to round 3 are going to be racing this together. And then the top racer from this next rematch is going to be making it to the pro race to race in the pro. So we're going to get these 4 racers lined up and send them through Teasa Towers. And while we get this set up, let's do a preview of the Lorville loading site. All right, so the loading site, we're basically on these beautiful, sort of some of these same industrial cranes that we've got on the outskirts of Lorville, the other outskirts of Lorville. Gorgeous selection. And the racers are on this very, very tight, very unforgiving track, weaving between these cranes on these loading sites. So we are away from the spaceport now and some of the traffic. Just getting an orbit here as we get in position to start this fly through. All right, this is a tight little track. So the racers are going to start just to the right of here over on that platform. And then they are going to take off and they're going to pass through a couple of these cranes. So pass through this first crane here, make a slight left turn through the next crane. And then they're going to enter this structure on the top level. Fly through it, exiting up through these beams, and then they're going to fly a chicane through these 3 cranes here. It's very dangerous, very deadly, and again, these races are doing 10 laps on this track through here, so they definitely need to take it easy, but this one is for all the marbles, because it is the top 3 out of this pro race that we get the prizes. So once you've passed through that last crane, they're essentially going to like button hook around, loop around the structure, fly through the top, hook around through the bottom, and it is on to another lap. That is Lorville loading site. In the meantime, checking with our grid. Looks like... Alright, we got 3 of the 4 racers. Just waiting on one more, and we will get going with this round 2 amateur race. Or round 2B, round 2 second chance. Yeah, how's everybody doing today in chat? Thank you for watching, thank you for joining us. Definitely a lot of fun to be out here putting these ships through the tracks. It is a good time. And again, talking about what these racers are going for. The 4 racers that we have racing now, the winner of this race is going to make it into the pro and into the final in round 3. And then these 3 final remaining racers, the other 3 racers from this will be racing in the round 3 amateur race and racing for Pulse LX. So yeah, happy to end out the year, get some racing in 4.0. I'm definitely enjoying the improved performance that we've got here. And of course enjoying, you know, populated servers. I don't know, it is, even with some of the bugs, I'm enjoying just seeing all the extra traffic coming and going from the spaceports. So it's nice to see the verse populated. We've been at, you know, around 100 players, and before that 50 players per map for quite a while. Alright, seeing another Aurora getting into position. Looks like Neojet. And I think it's like the racers are getting gridded up. And I think we are getting ready for this second chance round 2. Alright, grid is ready. 2 seconds. I'm seeing 2 racers that are doing a landed start and 2 that are flying. Or, you know what, that's probably just desync on my part. Good old desync. Let's get ready for these racers to start. 30 seconds. And this track is one you can find yourself on XGR.gg. You can race it yourself. Race it at anything. It was originally designed actually for the M50, and you can see it is not easy in the Aurora, and it is definitely very difficult in the M50. So, happy to be doing, I think, probably the inaugural race on this track. And it's great to see it. And they are off. We're heading into this first turn here. All the racers are in a bit of a tight group. It's like Ricky Tikki, keeping it safe, keeping it outside. Dude 3D passing through into the first chicanes. We got a DNF out of Ricky Tikki. Looks like Dude 3D clean through that first chicane. Neojet as well. This turn under the bridge is actually pretty darn tough. You've got to turn under the bridge and then you've got to hook up. You got to hook up and then go through this next tunnel. These racers are, you can see they are basically scraping paint with the edges of those tunnels, even in the Aurora, which is much slower than something like like an M50. Dude 3D making it through Updog. And with Neojet behind. See, Dude 3D onto the wing wiper. And entering that first tunnel. Alright, and Dude 3D exiting that side of the tunnels, and we are on to the super spin, doing this lovely 360. Entering the tunnel here. And beautiful. Through the crab claws. It's like Neojet potentially was a little lost there. Just coming around the big cheese. And we're watching Dude 3D come in and finish out this first lap. The 257 there. So dodging this Corsair coming in for landing. Love a busy spaceport. On to lap 2. Checking in with Kalastar. I believe we're going to see Dude 3D come through here. Yep, through that first tunnel. And through the chicane. Watching Dude 3D exit. Beautiful shots from Boltok there. Under the bridge. Hooked up through the tunnel. And then on to Updog. onto Wing Wiper. Looks like we have Neojet just finishing. Yep, Neojet is on to that lap 2. Meanwhile, Dude 3D entering this next set of tunnels after Wing Wiper. Beautiful, and onto the trench. So Neojet, more or less a lap down, but still making it through, still surviving. Yeah, this is the long track with a lot of turns, and once you're in there in the cockpit, it has a great flow to it. Coming around the super spin here, ring sort of guiding you into the turn, through the tunnel. Spin out again, and we're on to the back half of the track. Yeah, so Aurora All-Stars, our first year was at Crusader. Racers raced at the Garden, which is actually at the same location that Yadar Valley is now. Then they raced on a track called Scarlet Apex by Anzi Racing, and then they finished up at Kaplan Circuit. And then last year they were at Microtech, so the racers hit the Icebreaker, the Tressler Twist, which is a tight little 0G track, and then they finished up at the Snake Pit. So for this year, we're at Hurston. These 3 tracks are on Hurston, and a finish for Dude 3D. Congratulations, Dude 3D. You are going to the Pro Final. And so if we keep up with the theme, then 2955 would likely be at our corp. Following Neojet through this lovely third-person chase cam we have going on Boltok. Boltok also, I'll mention, the designer of the Lorville loading site. Oh! A TNF. TNF at a Neojet. Drifted into that turn. These things happen. But yeah, great racing Neojet, great racing Dude, and Sarah and Ricky Tiki. And thank you for taking on the Teasa Towers. You were the first 7 racers to do it in a live race, as far as I'm aware. So, congratulations, everybody. And we are going to move ourselves to the Lorville loading site. Right, again, thanks for coming out and watching, supporting these racers. What they are doing is not easy. So definitely helps them to have your support, have your help in the chat. It is much appreciated. All right, I think we're gonna wait for some of these racers to spawn, and we are gonna get ready for this this next race. And our goal here is to get all these races done while the sun is up. Not that you can't race them with the sun down. All these tracks are well lit, and Teasa is gorgeous at night, but definitely nice to race with the sun up. Congratulations, everybody. Looking forward to seeing how everybody does in the final. So, knocked out these first 2 tracks. Again, I know it can be easier to learn tracks in Arena Commander with the checkpoints for you. It definitely takes a special breed of racer to go out into the PU and learn these tracks just from video tutorials that you can find on scr.gg for most of these tracks. This track, the Lorville loading site, being designed by Boltok. Hoping that gets on scr.gg. Boltok did a great job with the design, and hopefully this will be something that'll get up, and then folks can run time trials on it after we put it through its paces in today's live race. So, really looking forward to see how we do with this next race here. can already see a couple racers doing some test laps. In testing this Lorville loading site, it is such a tight track. These crane gates are very small. Even with our high server FPS, it is really a challenge to survive. So we are... I know our racers, they have to do 10 laps on this track. They're hopefully going to try to take it a little easy, because remember, we've got not doing point scoring this year. It is all just make it to round 3, survive, and then you're going for the C1 Spirit, the Intrepid, and the Trumbull Cyclone RC. And to place, you do have to survive at least 1 lap. If we don't get a full podium, we will rerun the race until we get a full podium. We're seeing some of the races already set up here. So to sort of show where we are, you can see in the distance, you've got Lorville, beautiful Hurston Tower. And then heading out into the outskirts in this gorgeous scouted location. Getting pulled by race direction, so we will be right back. Alright, welcome back everybody. Lorville loading site. We have our racers all lined up. Our we're waiting on one last racer, and then we are going to get going with the Pro, which is 5 laps here at the Lorville loading site. We have race direction, just getting them into position. And again, while we wait for that, let's show that fly through one more time. Gorgeous location here. All right, so racers from the start. Start heading up through these cranes. And then they're going to head through the structure, and they are going to button loop back up through the main section. And they're going to do the dangerous three crane chicane. Stormshires, they're running Lorville loading site, so you can see this is out in the outskirts, just beyond Lorville. This is a track designed by Bolthawk, and hopefully it's one that we will see on SCR. But yeah, they've got to go through between the cranes and those chains. Dangerous checkpoints there, especially tough to fit a bunch of racers through there. And they are going through 10 laps. They're going to button hook through the top of the structure and around. And then down and onto the start of the first lap. And you can see we've got our racers lined up there on the grid. Just waiting for one more. And we will be ready to go. And views from Kalestar here from up in the top of the tower. Appreciate those extra cameras. Get going for the final. Might even be racing this one to Lorville Sunset. All right, looks like our fourth racer in the grid there. And everybody is lined up. Again, a shout out to the racers for learning 2 brand new tracks for this race. One very tight punishing one, and one very long one that takes some effort to learn. So nice work, everybody, as we wait for them to get in position. As well for this race, you can see the racers getting out of their cockpit because they are doing you're familiar with auto racing, they're doing a Le Mans start. So they will be starting on foot, running to their Auroras, and then beginning the first lap. So adding just a little bit of a foot race component in here. So they're going to be, I believe, leaving the engines running. Yeah, they will be leaving the engines running. And starting there. So we can see each racer has their own flashing start light, more or less. Alright, it's possible as the racers are getting in position, they might need a little help getting back up. Never trust the ground in Star Citizen. I think that's something everybody can agree on. Yeah, shout out to our racers. As we get in position here. And we will, yeah, and excited to crown our 2954 Aurora All-Stars. And I appreciate everybody's patience as we get this rolling here. Doing some experiments with formats here. I know we've done a lot of races which are folks accumulating points. I've always enjoyed those. We wanted to try a sort of round elimination, make it to the last round, survive, race for all the marbles. Apologies for the technical difficulties, but yeah, we will get them racing as soon as we can. While we're waiting here, folks in chat, I know if you've been trying 4.0, do you have any favorite parts? Favorite things about 4.0? There's a lot that's changed, a lot to look forward to. I know that, I'm sure everybody's done that first jump into Pyro for the first time. Pretty incredible that they knocked that out of the park. CIG. Definitely, of course, all the other stuff, the performance. Alright, restrictions, let me know. Our last racer is on the way. And we will get this one going. Yeah, it wouldn't be a Star Citizen race without some Star Citizen. Let's see. Everybody's dead. See what folks are racing in. Got Dude 3D in the classic white suit. In the racer whites. Liquid Prime, also in the classic white racer suit. And Colbosa racing in the racer blues. That's right, anybody who's a fresh spawn, you're already wearing your racer suit. You're born with it. Star Citizen, more or less. Saying hi to Slugs in chat. Good to see everybody. Looks like we are definitely racing this at sunset after all. And beautiful cinematics from Boltok here. I think this might be the first XGR exhibition race that we've done at Le Mans Start. I know it's something folks have talked about for a while. A little bit silly. But for you know, mini endurance race of 10 laps, why not? I'll say one nice thing I like about loading site, it is actually pretty raceable day or night, just with all the lighting that's around here, just on these normal Hurston prefabs. Say 2954, it's been a great year of racing. I don't know if anybody has any favorite races they've participated in or watched. I know the Atmo Esports Enter Atmosphere, the live racing on stage, that was definitely a highlight for me. Just seeing everybody race there together in person on stage, you know, basically in a LAN, no lag. It was great to see. The Nino Cup we ran this year, just the full gamut racers were doing heavy ships, ground, 0G, moon, planetary, and then finishing up in a finale. That was definitely great. A lot of exhibition races we've run. The Starter Ship Showdown that was run earlier this year. That was great to see. They folks racing starter ships on Icebreaker, definitely a low race which you've got, low barrier to entry. Love seeing that. Yeah, looking forward to folks running some more exciting races. And 2955. We've got our grid shots here, courtesy of Kalastar. I believe we're seeing the final racer back from the dead, being flown into position here. I guess there's a couple things that'll kill you in Star Citizen. Those are the elevators and the ground / falling through the planet. And then your friends, and then other players. Alright. A little bit of a server error. Hopefully we'll be able to come back from this one. I mean, as fun as it is, I'm glad this didn't happen mid-race, so, you know, kudos to the delay so that we didn't get hit with this mid-race. Hopefully this will pass quickly. That is what it is. You just gotta, you know, racing in an alpha game. We do what we can, but hopefully, I know everybody, server errors, everybody recovers at a different rate, so hopefully everybody just slowly comes back. Nobody collides with anything expensive. Alright, looks like I am back from that server error, and I think the other racers are gonna pop back in. Emu Lockwood with logistics crew taking him back to the track. Always appreciated. And getting into position. I'm assuming this is just desync on my end, the ships that are down there. Yeah, we will be right back. All right, everybody. We are just recovering from a server error here, and so just recovering from a server error. We are going to do an audience giveaway. So thanks to folks who are watching. We're getting ready for this last race. Alright, so All right, so for folks watching in chat, we are going to be giving away a Pulse LX. So just for the next couple minutes, just post a message in chat. That will enter you in for an audience giveaway. It is going to be a Pulse LX, sponsored by the Laser Team. So your team here, Litho Aerospace Exhibition Racing, for ground, air, and space racing is Luigi 509, HT Madcat, and yours truly, Steve CC. So throw those messages in chat. You will automatically be entered in for a giveaway of a Pulse LX in about the next 10 minutes or so. Anybody's eligible, so go for it. Throw that message in chat, and I will get a timer going. And I'll say what's everybody's favorite part from 4.0. I think favorite thing in 4.0, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it is the vertical speed indicator for me. I've been wanting that for a long time. I didn't know they were adding it, and I am impressed that I can now see my vertical speed. I've been wanting climb rate for quite a long time. Ghost 360 says a dedicated FPS zone. Ricky is throwing people's messages around in chat. And we are getting ready to go. Give it a couple more minutes. The Pulse LX, I know folks struggle with the hover bike model a lot. On the hovering, I wish it was better. It might even be better now that server FPS is better. I haven't tried them in the PU. There is that race mode that folks race in. There's that race mode that folks race in Arena Commander that is sometimes active. I know. Hopefully, CIG will fix some of the weird issues with GravLove. I wish it functioned differently, but regardless, Pulse LX also functions in space. I believe it fits in a 2 SCU space, so you can fit it in basically any ship out there. So goes fast, works in space, works on ground if the server gods let me. While we wait here, I'm gonna throw on the old trailer for the Nino Cup that we ran earlier this year. Run the giveaway when this trailer ends. You got about a minute and a half. We're gonna wait for our truck racers too. Oh, shoot. Apologies. I was muted for the start of that race there. All right, so we have... Dude 3D and Emu Lockwood fairly close to each other. Looks like Liquid with a pretty commanding lead. Starting that lap 4 as Dude 3D and Emu come into the Crane Chicane. Let's see if we can check in with the onboard with Liquid. You can see the pilot's perspective coming through the Crane Chicane. Challenging if you get it just right, you get the angle right. Taking it safe so you can basically go straight through the others, and then we're gonna button hook and go over the top. And then cut back down around, going below, and then back through the start finish. I have no idea why Lorville turns red like this. I think it's some sort of glow thing with the lights, but it is gorgeous. Alright, then checking in on lap 5 here. It's like Liquid Prime coming up from the tunnels. Through the Crane Chicane, Emu Lockwood finishing out that lap 4, going into lap 5. Dude 3D maybe half lap behind Liquid there. Keeping it clean, doing really good in these low visibility conditions. And Liquid starting lap 6 as Dude is finishing out the last half of lap 5. Looking around and Dude 3D finishing out that lap 5. Checking again with Liquid. Going through the tunnels. Definitely a tight turn. Of course, Liquid takes this a little wide here. And coming through, finishing out this lap. Alright, then Liquid coming around for this final turn here as Dude 3D goes through the Crane Chicanes. And Emu is beginning this lap 6. Liquid is finishing it. Yeah, great racing by everybody. It was a long delay, but we got there. Amazing track to run. Designed by Boltaku, one of the top racers and top time trialers out there. You can see Liquid coming through here. Through the Crane Chicane. And coming around to finish out lap 7. Great racing from Liquid and everybody. Just have to keep it clean and finish out all 10 of these laps. Yeah, you're finishing all 8 laps here. So if Liquid, for example, DNFs, Dude 3D finishes all 10 laps, then Dude 3D would take the top spot. So I know Liquid is just trying to take it easy, but not so easy that Dude will catch up. I know Dude has definitely made up some ground. Oh, and that looks like a DNF out of Dude 3D on approach to the Crane Chicane. So if Emu Lockwood can finish out one more lap, I think that would put Emu ahead of Dude 3D. Finish out that 9th lap as we are coming into the final here. See Liquid coming in through the tunnels, through the Crane Chicane. Actually, oh, and that looks like a DNF from Emu Lockwood in the Crane Chicane. Challenging area. and Liquid Prime. Finishing out lap 9. The only racer still running. I believe that locks it up for Liquid. Great racing, everybody, making it through 8 laps. Great racing here by Liquid Prime. Let's get on board for this final victory lap. Keeping it clean, coming through a rather challenging chicane. I think Liquid might just be flying a little bit here for fun. Oh yeah, and finish out that last lap with a victory 360. Congratulations. Congratulations, Liquid. Some great racing everybody. One hell of a race. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for sticking with us through technical issues. So yeah, let's pull some racers in here and do some interviews. So yeah, congratulations everybody. Hey, Liquid, congratulations. Liquid, congratulations. We'll just get you here on stream. Yeah, congratulations. And I don't know, what were your thoughts on that race? How it's a lot of laps to do on that track.
The first couple ones were really stressful getting you there. I'm not sure where everybody was, but once I started getting in the groove by the 4th lap, I could start looking around me, getting my bearings with the other racers, and the moment I knew there was a separation between all of us, got a lot more comfortable and could just get into it.
Yeah, well, great racing. How did you feel that the loading site compared to Teasa or to Lorville Outskirts? How did you feel that Teasa compared to Lorville Outskirts or the Lorville loading site?
The spaceport one is my favorite of the 3. I really enjoy, because I've always enjoyed flying through Lorville, getting the cinematics of it and everything without... It's even nicer than not I can do it with a racetrack like that one that really tests your skills and without getting impounded.
Well, shout out to Black Star Racing and Second Saber for an amazing design there with the Lorville loading site. I know there's a lot more Lorville tracks out there, not all of which are on SCR, but yeah, it's a great track, and glad you enjoyed that one. Oh yeah, and anything else that you did for this race? How does the Aurora compare to other races? Any special prep you did? Anything you could share with other racers who are getting their feet wet?
I focused mostly on consistency on the racetracks, meaning that I wasn't trying to... My goal was never at any point to try to get first place with the format for this race. It was about qualifying, so I wasn't stressed to push it.
Yeah, well, congratulations. It did great. Consistency. I know we were on board with you for those final laps, and just seeing the consistency going through the chicane. So yeah, congratulations, Liquid. Let's go. That's awesome. Taking the top spot, and you will be taking home a C1 Spirit. So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you for putting this on and making this available for all of us. This kind of content. It was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, anytime. Take care. All right, and with that, I want to say thank you to our crew, Luigi509, AGT Madcat, Freshtuchski, Boltok on cameras, Kalostar on cameras. Thank you for making this all possible. And thank you to all of our racers, Kolbosa, Do 3D, Emu, Liquid Prime, Ricky Tiki. And Visera, Kolbosa, and Neojet. It's been a lot of fun racing with you all. I think we will call it here, but thank you for joining us, and we will see you in 2955. Take care.